Okay, friends, my little mathematicians. Sorry, I think I put 4-2 on yesterday's and it was actually lesson 4-3. Today we're working on 4-4, which is writing and solving equations with multiplication and division. So let's take a look at the first example. Looks like Juan was selling some paintings. He had 3 paintings and they were all the same price. And he sold all 3 of them for $45. So I kind of summarized it in words and some symbols, but you can see that. So each of these are the same and they would equal 45. So that's how you could write this in a balance. And remember that those would equal each other. They're the same amounts. And if it was a tape diagram, these are all equal amounts and they would be multiplied together to get $45. So that's how we're going to set that up. So if we did that, it would be saying x times x times x equals 45. But we are way more sophisticated than that. And so we're going to say this is 3x equals 45. So we have 3 groups of a number, and that totals $45. To solve this then, we're going to do the opposite. So we know that we would multiply it. So we're going to do the opposite of multiplying. We're going to divide. And because we're sophisticated math students, we're going to show that in a fraction. So I know that I need to get this x all by itself. And to do that, for this one, I am going to use a fraction. And what could I do to a 3 on top? What could I do on the bottom to have it equal 1x? Yep, you're going to divide it by 3. Okay, so 3 over 3 is 1. That gets rid of this. You can think of this as 1x, but really we know that that's just x. And because I have to have that equal sign there and I have to keep a balance on both sides, I am going to make sure that I divide this by 3 as well. And 45 divided by 3 is $15. So we know that each painting equals $15. So let's do a try it. Teresa picked the same number of tomatoes each day. In 4 days, she picked 52 tomatoes. So we know that the unknown is how many tomatoes she picked each day. She did it for 4 days. And we know at the end, she picked 52 tomatoes. So can you solve that for me and tell me what x would equal? We're going to pause and have you do it on Edpuzzle. All right, so if I did this correctly, I would isolate that x. I'm going to divide by 4. Those cancel each other out. If I do it to the left side, I have to do it to the right side. I'm going to do that over there, which gets me 13. Now, I want to show too, we've talked about yesterday one-step equations. Again, this is a one-step, and I have to show my one-step. And do you see how it's nice and tidy? We have our equal signs on both. We just bring everything straight down. We're not being lazy. You need to be writing that. And we're not doing things in our head. You need to show me the work that you're doing to get the x isolated. All right? Let's look at example number 2. I'm going to move this up for y'all. Okay, so for example number 2, the 15 members of an adventure club go on a group underwater diving trip. Students groups receive a special rate on snorkeling tickets that is half off the daily rate. Write and solve an equation to find T, the total cost of the snorkeling tickets. So we know that each, we know that there are 15 members. So if I did a tape diagram, I'm going to have 15 spots. That's not so easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not so even, but you'll bear with me. Okay, so for each one of those, we know it is $39.50, and we know that the total cost is T. We're going to say T. Okay, and we know that there are 15 students. So we are taking, to get the total cost, we're going to take that and we're going to divide it by how many students. And we know that that is $39.50 total. So we're trying to figure out, per student. So again, we're going to do the opposite of this. Yeah, I don't like this, but I'm going to show it to you this way, the way the book is. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to multiply by 15 to get this isolated. We're going to multiply by 15, and this will be T equals $592.50. I would like to show you how it would look as a fraction. So we're going to do this one on the side here. So we know that the total cost divided by 15 equals $39.50. Okay. I want to get rid of this divided by 15. And so I know that if I multiply it by 15, those would then cancel each other out and leave me with T. Do you see that? So those become 1 over 1 basically. And I'm going to then do the same thing over here. Oops, sorry. I'm going to multiply it by 15 because I did that over here. And then I would also get $592.50. Okay, so I want you to kind of start thinking about it that way and doing the opposites. Let's do a try it with the multiplying. Megan is reading, can you see that? Megan is reading 630-page book. Okay, so if we're thinking about that, she reads 18 pages per day. Okay, so she is reading 630 pages total. She's reading 18 pages per day. And that's going to tell me how many days she gets. All right. And so this one, you're just solving for the answer, which is 35 days. I want you to write it so that, pick the equation so that D is over here. Okay, so pick the equation in the Edpuzzle that would have you putting it as a equation that you'd actually have to solve. All right. We're going to do one last example, example 3, because the division ones are a little bit harder. Helen puts 2,292 stickers in an album. Each album holds 24 stickers. How many pages does Helen need to fill? So the total, if I did this as a tape diagram, the total stickers that she has are 2,292. Each page has 24 stickers. We don't know how many pages she would need. So for this one, you could do 2,292 equals 24p, or you could do 2,292 divided by 24 equals p. Okay, can you solve that for me and then put your answer in Edpuzzle?